All right, just fixing some lighting there. How are you guys doing? If you're new to this, my name is Chris G, Positively Progressing channel, and today and most Tuesdays, almost all Tuesdays, we go over a 2-5 or a concept and answer any questions you might have, and yeah, we'll get right to it. So today we're gonna be looking at a short that I actually just put out today, I think, and it's good. It's a short 2-5, pretty straightforward, but there's a concept involved with it that I want to go over that I'll play along with a play along so you can kind of hear what I'm doing. But what I'll do first is, like usual, I'll play the line. This line comes in on the and of four, and um, and then I'll play the line a few times so you can listen to it, try to transcribe it. Of course, if you can transcribe it, please do. Hey, Tracy, nice to see you. I don't know if you're on the East Coast, but if you are, it's late out there. I barely made it in Tuesday on the East Coast. So luckily, we have a couple hours left here on the West Coast. Anyways, hope you're all well. Let's dive into the line and away we go. Okay. Chicago. Okay, so you got like, yeah, it's like 10:50 over there or something like that, Central Time, right? Um, all right. Anyways, okay, so here we go. So like I said, starts on the end of four, and I'll break the line down after I play it a few times for you. I'm gonna play it slow 3 times, and and here we go. So one, two, three, one. Okay, one, two, three. Okay, one more time. One, two, three. All right, so I'm just slurring that. I'm doing articulations. I try to slur all these lines and keep the eighth note relatively straight. When I'm practicing, I think it's really good for your time to keep really good time. And also when you end up playing at faster tempos, I think when you play straight eighth notes, and I've heard other people talk about this, but when you play straight eighth notes like that over fast tempos, it almost swings harder. But anyways, we can dive into that some other time. So we're starting on the and of four on this, and it's a pretty straightforward line. There's only one altered note in there, and it's because there's an enclosure right in the middle of the line. So we start on a leading tone to the three of the two chord. It's a lot of threes, twos, whatever. So leading tone, meaning a half step below the three of the two chord. So the two chord in this instance is a D minor. So the three of D minor is F. So we're starting on a leading tone to F. So we're going E to F. So there's a little guide tone or leading tone, whatever you want to call it. Um, and then we're just going up the arpeggio of the two chord, starting on the three. So we're going 3, 5, 7, 9, which, if you guys have seen any of my other videos, I've talked about this before. That makes a major seven chord. So if you build off of the three, which is of course the flat three of a two chord, um, you're going to build a major arpeggio. So the first part is just the leading tone. All right, and then we're going to go up that arpeggio. So that makes that major. That's just a major seventh arpeggio off the three of the two chord. And then here's that one altered note that you're hearing in there that doesn't quite fit, but it doesn't matter because it's an enclosure. So sorry. So that's the enclosure around the five of the five chord, which G7 is the five chord, so that's D. And then we jump up to the three. So and then we're gonna just walk it down. All right, so So we're just walking it down scale wise, and we're going that 3, 2, and then we hit the 5 of the one chord, D, and so it just walks it down. B da D, and we go 5 3, B da 5 3. All right. So I'll play it again from the beginning. 1 2 3. All right, that time I added in some articulation and some rhythm and bounce kind of to it to make it swing a little bit. Um, so, what concept do I want to go over with this line in particular? Well, I find it interesting because it starts on the and of four. Lines that start on the and, it's always nice to create lines that start on the ands, on the upbeats, or on the downbeats. And and if you haven't done this, you should try it. You should try displacing lines. What I mean by that is displacing lines, making them start in different parts of the bar or on different beats. So for today, I want to show you how this line can change sound, and change a little bit of how you hear it and how you play it when you start on different beats. And so we're going to start on the and of four, which is the original, but then let's start on the and of one and the and of two. And what that's doing is it's displacing the line, moving it backward, and which is not kind of, it's actually delaying the resolution. So it's kind of a cool sound if you're playing that, let's say when we get to the end of two, we're going to be playing that major arpeggio over the five chord, which is really cool because now we're playing this the flat seven, we're playing the nine, the 11, and the 13. And then we're actually playing what's usually on the five chord in the one chord, which is it's you're delaying the resolution by two full beats basically. So it's a cool thing to mess around with, and it also helps you kind of, it might lead you in different directions and how you're developing your language, or how to finish lines. So I'm going to use a play along. I'm using iReal B, excuse me. I think I had a what happened there. My brain just turned off. iReal book, iReal B, and so the you know the play along quality isn't great, but it'll help me loop it. So as it loops, I'm going to tell you what's going on. So I'm going to start it on the end of four, then I'm going to start it on the end of one, and then on the end of two, and you can kind of hear how that this works. Okay, let me pull that up. So here we go. So this is a pretty slow tempo, but you'll see how it goes. I'm gonna let the count in go, and then I'm going to go ahead and jump in right on the end of four. Here we go. Again. Okay. Now I'm gonna play it on the end of one. All right. 3, 4. All right. Now I'm going to play it on the and of two. 3, 4, 1. All right. And we can keep displacing this stuff. We can continue to displace it further and further back. Someone who's, I mean, there's more than one person, but someone that I think about when I think about this displacement and mastery of the displacement is Jerry Bergonzi. I think Jerry Bergonzi does this fantastic, and it's I mean, he does it so well you probably don't even notice he's doing it, but he does it, and it's pretty cool. There's Doug Webb does this. There's some guys that I just noticed doing it. I can't think of anyone. I mean, Bird does this. Bird, there is delayed resolutions in Bird's playing. So, um, anyways, so displacing where you're starting lines, and you don't have to displace it like a full beat. You can displace it half beats too. Um, I'm keeping these lives relatively short, between 10 and 15 minutes, or 5 and 15 minutes, whatever. So I don't want to go over all this, but you might need to change the language slightly to alter, if you change it just a half a beat or not. That's one of the cool things about this displacing, but you might need to resolve it differently, making sure you're resolving it properly. That's almost half the battle. If you can resolve these lines, any lines that you create, any lines that you get from me, or you transcribe, um, if you're resolving them properly and they make sense with the resolution, what happens beforehand, as long as it's in time, it's all going to work out in the end. I mean, that's kind of the the funny trick about us playing this music. That's the wonderful thing about it, I guess. The exploratory nature of it is, if you can have really, really good time and resolve things properly and make them sound good at the end of it, it's amazing. So okay, so Pierce writes, omitting chromatic passing tone an option. Yeah, yeah, like if you want to start, like if you want to start without the half, the any passing tone, that's totally an option. However, you want to change these lines to make them palatable to your ear, or just change them in any way to make them your own. I'm always for that. Like I said, this line can be broken up into a lot of different ways. And this is just pretty much eighth notes starting on the end of four. But yeah, if you wanted to, let's say if you wanted to omit stuff, or even take a couple of notes out and leave breaks in there, you can totally do that. You can do, sorry, what am I, okay, so yeah, you can go like, you can omit notes, or you can take out the half step. So the beginning note you can take out. So instead of, you can do that. You can take out, you could start there. You could even do this, on 1 2 3 4, so I took out the first two notes there, 1 2 3 4, and made those next three notes a triplet, 1 2 3 4, and you can do anything like with that. You can invert that, 1 2 3 4, and change the notes completely. Maybe just keep the ending. This is all up to you, and I'm just trying to, you know get you guys to think into different concepts, and maybe explore a little bit more. That's the funnest part about all this stuff, is the exploring, and what paths it takes you down. We could probably make up, just you just saw me, I just made up like three different lines. They were all similar, but they were different rhythmically, they were different with notes. I've omitted some things. You can even take notes out of the middle if you want. So yeah, Pierce, everything's fair game. So great question. Thanks. And if anybody else has any questions, please feel free to ask them. If not, I will leave you with this lesson and let you shed and enjoy. I will put a link in the description on the short that this is. It's written out, so if you don't want to transcribe it, or if you just want to check your transcription once you've tried it and make sure it's right, I will put a link to the short that I put out today, which I think we're on like 28 or something. So Bebop lick number 28. So it's crazy. We're gonna try. I'm gonna try to get to 100. That's the goal. So the 100 is the goal. The goal is put out there. I have put it out into the public live on YouTube. I'm gonna try to get 100 lines, and they don't have to be mine. You all can totally submit a line. Just email to me or DM me on Instagram, and I will feature you, and your 2.5. I have one feature done. I have two features done. The third feature is going to be coming out in a day or two, and I have a couple more that are submitted that I need to transcribe and put together. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, you'll see me most of the time for now, until this thing maybe takes off and a bunch of you want to just throw me a bunch of 2.5s. It's cool. And it could be transcribed stuff that you've done from master solos, Miles or Dex or Sonny. Um, it could be theirs, and I can, you could play it with them, and I can credit them and you. Either way, I think I'm done talking. Hope I didn't bore you. Anyways, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for your continued support. I could not thank you enough for all of all the support over the last couple years. And I hope you're all well. Hope your families are well. And until next time, just remember, always positive, always progressing. Later.